I'm Paul Levinson, and welcome to Light On, Light Through, episode 323. My review of The Orville, episode 3.4, up on Hulu today. And I thought it was a really excellent episode which connected to a momentous, disastrous U.S. Supreme Court decision today which couldn't have been known when the episode was made. And spoilers will follow. So let's see. The Union is pursuing a treaty with the Krill to fight their mutual enemy, the Kalans. High-stakes diplomacy ensue, including the best admirals on TV these days, Halsey and Perry, played by Victor Garber and Ted Danson. You can't go wrong with that. But before the treaty is concluded and signed, the head of the Krill is beaten in an election by the fascistic Talea. This is just the beginning of the resonances in this episode to the present USA. Now, Talea has been on the Orville before in two prior seasons. In episode 3.4, she's not only elected president, presumably elected, perhaps she and her party fixed the election, but she turns out to be the mother of a daughter fathered by our one and only Captain Mercer. The two had an affair. Ed gets to meet her, his daughter, and it's a great scene. The fact that Talea kept the baby is not surprising. An abortion is a crime in their culture, and couples who have them are forced to interact with a hologram of what their child would have been like. Now, in the show notes to this episode, I will have a link to a little essay that I wrote today, The Talmud versus Today's Supreme Court Decision Overturning Roe v. Wade. If you're interested, you'll find at least some of my thoughts in that little essay about what the U.S. Supreme Court did in our reality today. Back on the Orville, I won't tell you how all of this turned out, in case by any chance you haven't seen the episode and you've read or are listening to this review this far. But you'll of course know that Captain Mercer survived. I will say there were some crackling battles in space. Ed and Kelly have a tender moment, and I like the Art Deco look of the Krill Big City. And I'll see you back here next week with my review of episode 3.5 of The Orville. And I hope you enjoyed this review of episode 3.4 of The Orville. I'll indeed be back here next week with my review of episode 3.5. But before then, let's see, there'll be a review up here of For All Mankind, that great alternate history story premised on what would happen if the Soviets had beaten us to the moon by a mere month back in the late 1960s. I'll also have a review of The Man Who Fell to Earth. And hey, I gotta tell you, coming up pretty soon is going to be the new season. The new season of what some people consider one of the great robot stories of all time, Westworld. You can count on me reviewing every episode of the new season of Westworld as well. In the meantime, stay safe, stay sound, and do whatever you can to fight off the fascists in this country, the United States, as well as helping the brave Ukrainians fight off Putin's fascists who have invaded their country.
The Light on Light Through podcast
Athens, 2042 AD. She ripped the paper in half, then ripped the halves, then ripped what was left again into bits and pieces of history that could have been. Sierra Waters had read once that, years ago, it was thought that men made love for the thrill, while women made love for the sense of connection it gave them.
Curled Up with a Good Book says, Sierra Waters is sexy as hell. You can find out more about The Plot to Save Socrates by Paul Levinson at theplottosavesocrates.com.
Paul Levinson spilt code about an ancient biotech war raging on in secret for centuries.